Alright, it's time for slope-intercept form. Your learning target is I can write and graph a linear equation in slope-intercept form. Alright, so first let's do some definitions here. The slope-intercept form of a linear equation is the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, I'm sure you guys have known this for a long time, and we're just going to go over it one more time again and try to understand a few little things about it. Okay, in a slope-intercept form, m is the slope, okay, and b is the y-intercept. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept, okay? Let's do an example. This first example says write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line whose slope is -4 and y-intercept is 1, okay? So first, slope-intercept form again, y equals mx plus b, all right? Now, we know what the slope is now, and we know what the y-intercept. So all we have to do is just substitute those numbers in for where they belong, okay? M is the slope. Our slope is -4. Y equals -4x. B is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is 1. So we're just going to add 1. Okay? That's honestly all you have to do to make sure that you write something in slope-intercept form. Okay, now the second part is to graph the equation from above, okay? And I've left that equation up here. In order to graph an equation that it's in slope-intercept form, the first thing you want to do is just put a dot where that y-intercept is, okay? Y-intercept is b, remember, so a 1 is where it crosses the y. So we're going to put a dot there at 1. And our slope is -4 over 1, okay? This is technically, our slope we could write as -4 over 1. All right, so remember, slope is rise over run, okay? And you start from your y-intercept, so you have to start from 1. You're not starting from 0 or anywhere else on this graph. You're starting from the point of the y-intercept, and we're going to go down 4 because we have a -4, so we're going to drop 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to run 1 spot. And so that is where our slope, that's the direction of our slope. Now you get a ruler out and you connect these two dots. Make sure when you are graphing this, it's not just connecting the dots here. You've got to extend it for the entire length of your graph, and make sure you put those arrows in there to show that this line continues to go on forever, okay? Example 3 says to write the equation of the graph shown below, okay? And we're trying to write this in slope-intercept form, okay? And so we need to figure out what our slope is and what our y-intercept is, okay? Our slope, we have to first identify 2 points where it crosses evenly, okay? So for example, we couldn't choose this point right here because if you notice closely, it does not go through one of those corners of our grid, okay? That's going to be at the point where y is like -2.75 maybe. We're not exactly sure. But we do know that it crosses the y-intercept evenly right here. And we also see that it crosses, if you follow this line, you can see that it crosses somewhere around this point right up here, okay? And so to find the slope, remember, you just have to find the rise over the run, okay? And we are, sorry, I'm moving it. We are dropping 1 spot, okay? And when we're dropping, that means it's going to be negative, right? So we're going to write a -1 over our run, the amount of times that it goes over, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our slope is -1 over 4. Okay, now we have to put our x, remember it's mx plus b. Okay, b, our y-intercept, is at -1 to -3. So we're going to subtract 3 from that. Okay, so our equation ends up being y equals -1/4 x minus 3. Example 4, we're given, we want to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line y plus 2 minus x equals 0. Okay, so this is kind of a complex type of equation. It's not necessarily in any form. Okay, so we've got y plus 2, I'm just going to rewrite it, minus x equals 0. And we need to get this in slope-intercept form. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to get y by itself. So we have to get rid of 2 and we have to get rid of x. So let's go ahead and do that first. We're going to first add x to both sides. And if we do that, we are going to be left with, this is going to cancel out here, we're going to be left with y plus 2 is equal to 0 plus x is just x. Okay? And now we need to get rid of that 2. The opposite of addition is subtraction, so we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Our 2 and negative 2 are going to cancel out. We're going to be left with y equals x minus 2. Y equals x minus 2. Okay, and that is the slope-intercept form of that equation. Okay, finally, this last example here is we need to graph that line from above. And I left it up here again. So again, we need to just identify where it crosses the y-intercept, which is at negative 2. Put the dot right there. We find the slope. Okay, there is no coefficient before x, so we can identify that as a 1x or a 1 over 1x, which means we're going to rise 1, run 1, and our new dot is going to be at that location right there. And we can go ahead and draw that line. Again, remember that you extend all the way throughout the graph, and you get those arrows at the very end to show that it extends forever. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed.